Welcome back. Joining us from New York is Chuck Todd, host of Meet the Press, which airs every Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. So, Chuck, prior to the New Hampshire primary, Amy Klobuchar did a very nice job in the debate on the Friday before that vote. And I think there's some evidence to suggest, certainly in talking to voters myself, that is how why she performed so well. Based on that, how important is Wednesday's debate going into the Nevada caucuses?
Well, obviously, I think you have, there's quite a few Democrats who are in this bucket of they're looking for the most electable. They don't know who it is. They're kind of paralyzed. They're looking for some sort of sign. So it clearly, these debates now look like they're having an impact on on this group of undecided Democratic primary voter who's definitely going to vote, but is literally paralyzed trying to figure out, well, who's the best person to put up against Trump. That New Hampshire now, that debate is always influential. It's always late, and New Hampshire voters love love being late deciders. I do think it could have a similar impact, perhaps, in Nevada, but you also have the other. I'm going to be honest. Nevada's still a very young event here, these caucuses, and considering all the problems Iowa had, I don't know what the turnout's going to be. I don't know if it's another uneven turnout where it just feels like a Clark County event with a few people in Reno participating, or is it this time feel like a true statewide event? And I think that's still another unknown for me when it comes into thinking about Nevada. But I think in the larger grand scheme of things, particularly if Michael Bloomberg qualifies for this debate, and we don't know yet, but he's one national poll away from doing it, I think wherever Bloomberg is that first time he debates is going to be a consequential debate.
You've said Pete Buttigieg needs to win Nevada. Why?
I think he does. Well, I think he does because, look, Sanders has a devoted following. He finishes, he's got to get his 25, 26%. That could be first, that could be second in a large field. And he's going to plow forward, and that 25% is available to him wherever he goes. Buttigieg is part of the is fishing in the same ocean as Michael Bloomberg when it comes to voters, and Joe Biden, and Amy Klobuchar. And there's so many people vacillating between those four. He needs to continue to look like a winner. If he can show that he can win in non-white states and start to do that, that could start easing some of the concern about him that some of the establishment wing of the party has. So if Buttigieg wants to be the nominee, Conan, and that's what I would say. If he's the nominee, it begins with winning more than just Iowa in the first 4 states.
What are the chances that the number of viable campaigns will be dramatically reduced by the time the California primary and the Super Tuesday primaries take place March the 3rd?
I don't know. I would have said a week ago, Conan, I would have told you I think there'll be 4 viable candidates. And that may very well be the case, that there's only really 4 viable candidates by the time of Super Tuesday. But I think the other 2 that I think might not be viable then are still going to be competing, still going to be pushing. I mean, look, if Joe Biden does not win South Carolina, then he's going to get out. Okay, he will not stay in for Super Tuesday. But if he wins South Carolina, he's going to stay in. So, and I think Warren is going to stick it out through Super Tuesday. She's already campaigning in Super Tuesday states, so I think she's made the decision. She's doing that regardless. Both Maine and Massachusetts vote on Super Tuesday. She can get some sort of favorite daughter type delegates, if you will, So I think that's going to, I think that she stays in. So I don't know how this field thins before Super Tuesday, to be frank, Conan.
And finally, on Meet the Press this morning, you're going to have on Amy Klobuchar, who did, again, 3rd place out of New Hampshire, and you're going to have the former vice president on. And I have to ask you very quickly, he has not been doing these shows. He hasn't done yours in years. And so just the fact that he's going to be on your show, what does that, to you, say about the campaign?
Well, honestly, I've just been surprised they've waited so long. I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of backseat driving of Biden. I think they spent a long time in 2019 trying to do what we used to refer to as a Rose Garden strategy. That was made famous by William McKinley back when he ran for president and didn't really run, and everybody came to his front porch in Ohio to court him and get him to run. And it looked like Biden was almost running that type of campaign. what it tells me is I think they now realize that maybe they got a bit of a late start. You know, I didn't understand why they didn't have him doing a bunch of interviews early, almost as baseball teams use spring training. And they didn't do any spring training in 19 for this campaign, and I think it's starting to show right now.
Well, it's very interesting. So the former Vice President Amy Klobuchar, Meet the Press. Chuck Todd, thanks very much. We'll see you in Las Vegas.
Thanks, Conan. See you there.
NBC4's news conference at 9 o'clock is preempted this week by NBC Sports. I'm Conan Nolan. Have a great Sunday.